this week, there was controversy at Oklahoma University after members of Sigma Alpha Epsilon, the fraternity there, were featured in a video basically doing a racist chant. They were doing a chant where they were basically saying that they would not allow so-called N-words into their fraternity, and they also continued to make fun of the idea of hanging black people from a tree. Well, the fine people at Morning Joe wanted to take time to comment on this issue, and apparently they were frustrated with a rapper who refused to go perform at the university after this happened, right? So here's what they had to say about that situation. Take a look.
There's this rapper, Waka Flocka Flame, who has performed for these kids in the past on the campus, and he canceled his show at the University of Oklahoma after this video surfaced, saying that in the wake of the video he's disgusted and disappointed. And I'm
you saw him on another network last night.
I saw him on another network.
I'm shocked and stunned and deeply saddened that they use that word.
And then they said, Waka Flocka Flame, thank you very much, good luck to you. And he was gone. And I'm like, I look at his lyrics, and I'm thinking, why wouldn't you ask this guy why you would go on that campus? And if you look at every single song, I guess you call it, he's written, it's a bunch of garbage, full of N-words, full of F-bombs. It's wrong. And he shouldn't be disgusted with them. He should be disgusted with himself. That's all I have to say.
Popular culture becomes a cesspool. A lot of corporations profit off it. And then people are surprised that some drunk 19-year-old kids repeat what they've been hearing.
Exactly.
The kids that are buying hip-hop or gangster rap, as Mark wanted us to call it, Moriel wanted us to call it, it's a white audience, and they hear this over and over again. So do they hear this at home? Well, chances are good, no. They heard a lot of this from guys like this who are now acting shocked.
Okay, so that's great. Let's blame the victims. Okay, so the real problem wasn't that these frat boys were saying, you know, we're never going to let the N-words in our fraternity, and, you know, they can go hang from a tree. Mm-hmm. I don't remember the rappers talking about how cool it would be to have black people hanging from trees. I don't recall. Do you remember that in any of the rap lyrics?
I do not recall that in any of the rap lyrics. What I find fascinating is that we had predicted that there would be some people that would find some way to blame black people for a racist video that members of this fraternity put together, right? So Waka Flocka Flame did not get together with these frat brothers and say, hey, you know what's cool? Hanging black people from a tree. Why don't we chant about that on a bus? The fact that Mika Brzezinski can't differentiate between rap lyrics and what these individuals did on that bus is absolutely ridiculous. How stupid are you? Are you a fucking idiot? Or is it that difficult for your dumb ass to understand that singing about hanging black people from a tree is incredibly insensitive, incredibly racist, incredibly offensive, and it's not a black rapper's fault that they did it, it's their fault that they did it. Okay, it's amazing. But that's the thing, Mika Brzezinski and the majority of these middle-aged morons don't understand music or rap culture or any of that stuff. They think that it's all about hoes and it's all about murder and death and drug dealing. They generalize everything about rap. And so, yeah, can you cherry pick rap lyrics that play into your stupid narrative? Sure, I guess you can, but it's still not the equivalent of basically singling out an entire group of people and telling others that it's totally fun and okay to hang them from a tree.
So in every generation we've had the old people go like, oh, this rock and roll, it's so dangerous and out of control, and it's all the rock and roll, it's for hard rock, oh my God, metal rock, punk rock, oh. Now it's rap and they're doing it. So that's part of it and we understand it. But use your minds a little bit. One is a form of entertainment, and they talk about them, they refer to themselves that way. You know, look, you can argue it in order to empower the word. You can argue it's a stupid thing to do anyway, but that is not connected to how the students used it. The students use it in this case not like, hey, my N-word, like as if they're in a rap, you know, song, and they didn't use it in a way that was friendly. They use it as, we don't like those people. We're going to exclude them from our fraternity, and they should be hanging from a tree. You can't tell that difference?
How are you going to blame?
How can you not tell that difference?
How are you going to take the responsibility away from the people that are in the video and blame someone that had nothing to do with this situation? Are you that clueless? It's unbelievable to me. And I'm sure Mika Brzezinski isn't alone, right? It's not the white kids' fault. It's the black people's fault because of their rap lyrics and their thug culture. It's always the black people's fault, right? They're unarmed and they get shot by cops. It's their fault. All of a sudden you have white people doing a racist chant. It's not the white people's fault. It's the black people's fault. Can we just please, for once in our lives, take responsibility for our actions? And I'm not saying that us as white people have to take responsibility for this fraternity's actions, but at least address what's really happening and make them face the consequences. Now, thankfully, 2 of them have gotten expelled from the school, and I think they freaking deserved it, right? But the fact that Mika Brzezinski is outraged that we're not angry at rappers is ridiculous, and I'm not taking her seriously at all.
And isn't it funny that they never get that, like, I've never seen any of these, white anchors on TV talking about Goodfellas turns everybody violent.
Yep.
A Casino, Scarface, Godfather, The Sopranos, and the list goes on and on. This mob culture, this thug culture, right, where they choke people to death, they cut their heads off. That literally happened in Sopranos. They machine gun people. They never talk about that. It's just whenever it's rap music, you see that? Yeah. It's the black people with their dangerous rap, etc. So why don't they ever say, hey, you know what? There was a shooting the other day. That's Al Pacino's fault. You know what they would find? They would find that absurd because that's a form of entertainment with white people. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's fine. That's for us. But this stuff, no. It's outrageous. And look, we weren't the only ones that predicted this. You got that tweet, right?
Yeah.
From earlier in the week, before they even did this.
So David D said, this SAE thing is going to turn into a discussion of the N-word and hip-hop by the end of the week, and it'll be our fault.
Boom, nailed it. That's exactly what happened, right? So somehow they flipped this to those poor white kids in Oklahoma, and I thought that they would go with a PC angle. Oh, people are being politically correct. But they went further.
They went further.
It wasn't just that they were being discriminated against, the white people who were singing about hanging black people. It said it's black people's fault that they were singing about that. I have to confess, I didn't think they'd go that far, but they outdid themselves.